Check, check.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
That's right, folks.
3, 2, 1.
You made it! You made it here to SketchUp Live because it's Friday! It's SketchUp Live Day! And it's the beginning of the weekend. You're tuned into a great movie architectural modeling today. Tyson bringing you for the Jurassic Park Visitor Center. Inside and outside, hot dogs, a lot of great SketchUp tips and a lot of great fun because you're tuned in to SketchUp Live. And that means we hand it off to the host himself, Mr. Tyson Stretcher.
Wow. Thanks, Matt. Do you have an do you have an echo filter on, or is that?
I did. Okay, I turned it off. I figured out how to put reverb on, so hey, watch out. It might be popping up here and there.
Well, I saw all the chat mentions immediately going to like, you guys, your audio's no, it's intentional. Matt's young and hip.
That's right. Oh, you know me, loading up the reverb. That's the what the kids are doing these days. So, yeah, no. Hey, I'm happy you made it to Friday, and I'm happy you made it to another SketchUp live stream. I feel like it's been a little while since we've been together on one of these streams. So,
It has. Yeah. Great to catch up. Oh, hey. Thank you. And how's everybody doing out there? Holler and let us know how your week is going, what your weekend plans are, where you're coming in from, and the thing I wanna hear from everybody is if you remember the first time you saw the original Jurassic Park. I couldn't remember when I'd seen it. I'd seen it. I just can't remember when. So I'm curious if anybody's sort of got a good memory of that.
yeah, that's a good question because it's a little bit of an older film at this point, huh? And yeah, no, it's because when did it come out? 1993?
Three.
Nice, doing the research beforehand. I like it. Interesting. Yeah, I was but a wee lad then, but yeah, no, I definitely had the VHS tape, so I can tell you probably the 100th and 150th time that I watched Jurassic Park, the first one. But first one is going way back in the time machine, getting in my Jurassic themed Jeep time machine to go back. That's one thing. Like Doc Brown made a time machine out of a DeLorean. I probably would make one out of these Jurassic Park Jeeps because they're pretty sweet.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be super fun. Love it. So yeah, let's look at what we're gonna do today because we're gonna have a lot of fun and honestly, we should get rolling because we've got a lot to do. Let me. So these are a couple screen grabs from the movie, and here's what I hope we'll get to. And as always, we'll see how much of this works out. So it's kind of iconic. You have the visitor center that they drive up to as this cool curved front facade, these steps, and then they walk up these steps through these great big doors. Not going to model all of the bones in this.
Yeah, it's intricate.
Yeah, not going to do that.
Man,
it's
my favorite part.
But then they walk through the doors, and you walk into this big atrium or whatever we'll call it. And of course, this has this very cool curved stairs on one side that they're walking up, and then they move into different parts of the movie. And then, of course, towards the end of the movie, you have the very awesome scene of the T-Rex coming in and just trashing the whole thing. So what I'd like to do is kind of treat this as, let's try to get some of the entrance, this done, and let's try to get some of this interior done so that by the end of our time here, we can kind of walk up the entrance stairs, walk through the doors, walk into this atrium, look around, and get a sense of, that experience for ourselves as though we're doing that. There's a ton of detail in here that we probably won't get to, just again out of time, but let's see how far we get. That's my hope. And
this sounds like a great plan.
Man, ambitious. Let's see what we get done. To that end,
I can't wait to be transported to Isla Nublar.
Oh, right.
Isla Nublar.
Is that a real place?
I don't know. Chat. Anybody tuning in from Isla Nublar today?
Yeah. Let us know how the weather is and whether or not the dinosaurs are still loose.
Yeah. Are you quarantined inside of the visitor center with the doors locked? Hopefully.
No kidding. Oh, by the way, and this is shout out to Aaron. Aaron has all the shirts, including one that would be perfect for this. I don't, so I had to mug up today. So here's to you.
Cheers to that.
Here's to everybody. The big Santa mug is taking on a dinosaur. All right, nice. Let's get going. I did a little bit of homework. This is not an exact plan, but these references are close enough that we should get our scale pretty right. And that way we can have something to start with. So we've got sort of the plan view of the walk-in and the atrium that we can use. We've got a little drawing of the doorway. I've got kind of a cross-section of what that pitched cone roof may be. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to go from there.
We had one question in the chat about how was this plan created? Did you make this? Did you find this online? Did you trace it from an image, or what? How'd you get this?
Well, you know what? The fun part about doing a project like this is that you can find some resources, but usually not all the resources, and usually not resources that like confirm each other.
Actually line up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Conflicting reports.
So this is a screen grab. There are out there kind of collectible items. There are some of the original construction documents for the movie set that exist, cool. But you have to kind of grab screen grabs of them. I went through, if you look at this one I grabbed from YouTube, but it never zoomed out and saw the whole thing. And I didn't get this in combination with a site plan and a second floor plan. So I think I want to point out one real quick. I don't know if you can see well, but these columns I thought was so cool. When I was looking at the images, I thought, are those squares or those hexagons? They're 5-sided, but like unique. Each one is kind of unique. And as a movie detail that I don't, know how much is appreciated, I thought that's really cool. We're going to make them hexagons out of simplicity. But
that's fair.
Yeah. But so there's a couple of plans out there, not very many. It's hard to find. So the original, what you'll find is when people are trying to recreate this, they would grab screen grabs from the movie, from the computer simulation where they're showing like what areas are locked, and they had to interpret it from that. So there's a lot of interpretation going on. There is a pretty decent model in the warehouse of this. Not super detailed, but it definitely has more of this. And I clearly again, with the idea that we're just going to create the facade and the interior, I did not worry about what all of this going on back here is.
Yeah.
That's I kind of did my best to interpret some of those resources out there. That's where I was
I'm
coming
impressed
from.
you found so many different kind of plan documents. I thought you were just going to be using like stills from the movie. So it's cool that though, especially the original construction documents. I'm like, that's pretty sweet to have that, framed on your wall or something. That would be
Oh
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
that would be so cool to have those. So whoever has those, please scan them and put them for all us nerds.
Over. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we respect the original construction here, so we would appreciate if you could help us out in honoring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet because I feel like sometimes we do stuff from pop culture or from just an image or something. And you don't really have too much reference or like like you said. Like I remember when Aaron did the speeder, it was like there's like 6 different of the Star Wars speeder from the first Star Wars from New Hope,
Right.
the land speeder. So there's like a few different versions of it for different shots that they use and different angles, and so. They definitely did not all line up. And so any model you make is sort of an amalgamation of everything you find. And I think Krish here in the chat asking how you approach gathering that information and what would you do when you don't find any useful resources. Maybe you can talk to how you found those, but I would assume that when you can't find the useful resources, you kind of do your best guess and try to make it all fit together as best as it can. Yeah, how do you find the stuff that you found for reference?
Well, I mean, Google search. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
But you're absolutely. I mean, it's a real problem, and it's one that we run into every Friday when we're doing these. Is how much can you find that's going to actually, That's why, frankly, I early on did this little bit, because if I had dragged everybody this past week, I spent some time looking at a few things and trying to get something close. But I don't want to drag everybody through an hour of that. So I don't know if there's a term. There are folks out there who love, let's say Luke Skywalker's lightsaber was made originally from camera bulb parts and other parts, and there's people who love to recreate using either replications or finding original parts. And then there's, I know, it's like that's both amazing, but also to me sounds painful and not fun. Whereas this, we're not going to recreate it exactly as we see in the movie. We're just going to get close. And so I guess it depends on how accurate you want to be, and
Well, yeah, because I assume that the actual interior set and the exterior set, it's not like the interior is in the inside of that actual building. They built that somewhere else to accommodate for all the stuff that they needed, and so I don't think it's one structure.
I don't know. I would have thought so too, especially for the sequence of shooting. And they, if I remember, because I was looking a little bit at the movie, but they do walk through with the camera through these doors into this space. Now the doors are coming in from the right now that we're in here, so I don't know if that's true, but they do walk through you
Is it a single shot?
Yeah, like if you pull this up, this shot is the camera moving forward and all of the actors move into the frame, and the doors open up with people on the other side and they walk through. Then it cuts.
This is different than the big building, the wide shot that you see though, right? Or do we think
that's the same? I think it's the same. So I could be convinced that they built this whole thing as one structure that they used. Maybe they rebuilt it to destroy it for the final scene, but it was so impressive that they built it. Uh,
Well, and I don't want to be one of these, older people who's like, so much better back in the day, but I feel like now those wouldn't be real sets, right? It would just be some CG, you know,
right? Some
environment that you can,
amalgamation.
yeah. And it's like, it's so much cooler when it's an actual place. It just feels so much more like authentic and lived in.
I don't know. Anybody here got some insights? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I mess that up? I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm doing at this point. Again, we're guessing, and I don't have great cross section or something here. So, based on this image, oops, I can see that the top of this exterior structure kind of raises to the top of this doorway. And then, so I'm using that as my reference, and then I'm going to build the stairs down from there, and then base everything else on that. So that's what I'm doing. That's the approach I'm taking at this point. And
Nice. Yeah, that sounds perfect to me. I'm just sitting here in the passenger seat and happy to ride with you wherever you want to take us. So, hey, let's do it, I say. Um, we have some folks coming in from all over the world today.
Sweet.
So, hey, it's the Global SketchUp Show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We have Devon, UK.
Hello.
We have Old Blighty. We have UAE.
Hey!
Armenia. Sorry, I don't have every language in here. I'm just going to run through my languages. So thanks, thanks everybody for tuning in from all over the place.
Como vai? Apa kabar?
We have Norway,
Enak so.
Sri Lanka,
Namaste.
all over.
Everybody can appreciate Jurassic Park for the fun that it is. That's right.
आप कैसे हैं?
Yeah, it brings in people from all over the place. This park isn't just wasn't built to cater just to the super rich. They're going to have a coupon bay or something to have people from all over come in. So
Hello, sailor.
Santa Barbara, California, Argentina, Poland, Madagascar. Hello, and thanks for joining, everyone. Okay, it's going to be a good one today.
Oh, I love it.
I do have a couple. Eric in the chat earlier said, "Here we go," and he also mentioned one quote from the great Jurassic Park film by Steven Spielberg, the man himself. He says,
Hold on to your butts.
well, Steven Spielberg doesn't say that, but
That's the immutable Samuel Jackson.
that's right, Samuel L. So Tyson finds a way. That's right.
Life finds a way.
we hope that's good, that we're gonna find a way. We're not swimming in the most dangerous waters yet.
No.
But,
okay, so we're taking a slow start. We're not entering the Tyrannosaurus yet, but we'll check out the Gallimimuses and the sick Triceratopses first.
All right. Well, a couple things. I've lost my bottom face, so I'm gonna. We're gonna do some haphazard, messy modeling today.
The best kind.
Again, in the interest of trying to get quite a lot done here. So.
Yeah. Well, it's like a movie set. All you really have to model is the front part, right? The part that's going to face towards the camera. So this model really only has to be pretty to the front of where you're going to see it in the thumbnail. So.
Yeah. Right. Let's move this down. Let's say to there.
Lenny,
Okay.
virtually here, also virtually at the air show in Oshkosh in Wisconsin.
Whoa. Sounds
Nice.
awesome.
Air shows are always fun. There's a helicopter in the first Jurassic Park, so that probably would be part of the air show. Yeah, that's cool. Other chat here. My final project in college was an indoor theme park, and the theme was Jurassic Park. I had to model many parts from the movie. Ooh,
Oh, that
nice.
sounds
So
awesome.
did you approach modeling this visitor center any differently than Tyson is going through today? That sounds like a theme park I would personally like to go to.
Hmm.
A comment here. I wonder how you're going to go around the difference between the exterior and the interior scenarios. There are some differences between them that are tough to reconcile, especially concerning the roof at the door.
So that is a very. I'm not. Spoiler alert. You're absolutely right. There are aspects of how that roof resolves with not just the door, but the upper second level. I never figured out. So we're gonna make it look convincing, but you're absolutely right. Whoever's making that observation, that there are some really interesting, like you say, reconciliations that I did not figure out. So
Yeah.
that
Do
whole
you think he sourced
aspect.
Rex?
What's that?
People in the chat are talking about what do you call a blind dinosaur?
Here we go. Yes, bring them. Let's get those puns and jokes in here.
Of course, the do you think he saurus?
Oh yes.
Lawrence, of course, says God creates dinosaurs. God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs. Dinosaurs eat man. Women inherits the earth. Nice one, Lawrence. Very good. Very good. I feel like I completely wore out my VHS copy of Jurassic Park. So at least the first one. I know there's so many. I haven't even seen any of the Jurassic Worlds. I know there was one that just came out recently. Anybody in the chat see any of those recent ones? You like them? We got the Christopher Pratt over there. You got the what is it, Bryce Dallas Howard in there, eh?
Right.
Have you checked any of those out, Tyson?
I have not. I think I saw the second one once, but I have not seen any of the subsequent ones. And if nothing else, I'm sure they're a good, fun time.
Yeah. Yeah, the trailers look like they're action movies with dinosaurs in them.
Action movies with dinosaurs.
Which is, I guess, what you can hope to be. Nobody's going to be Jurassic Park over again, but do what you can. Keggy, earlier, I'd like to shout this out, said he saw queued up for the midnight show or for the first premiere show of Jurassic Park and was not disappointed. So that's really cool to hear. Good memory. But he said Dominion,
That's
the
awesome.
latest one, is a disappointment.
That's a bummer.
So. Sorry to hear that.
There's some aspects of this that, let's say this side of this, and there's other things that, again, we're just gonna guess at how they'll look at. Looks like we'll put that in there, get some windows in here, and then And then we'll deal with this curved ramp, which can be a kind of a bit of a challenge.
Interesting, yeah.
So let's see if we can tackle some of that. I
trust you. I trust your artistic license to stay as faithful as you can, but also make a cool looking model. Oh, here we go. We have a cowboy themed joke from Lawrence. So,
Yeehaw!
I came prepared with the cowboy drops.
Nice.
Lawrence says, "What do you call a dino wearing a cowboy hat and boots?" Tyrannosaurus Tex. There you go. Very good.
I thought I had made this straight, and I want it to be straight for my simple follow me, so I am going to just hack this off a little bit. Let's say something like that.
Nice, that works for me. It's cool how even just like a little bit of an angle, makes something look so much more distinctive and, more iconic than just having like a regular, rectilinear straight up and down wall.
Yeah. The whole I don't know like if this follows a style. If somebody out there could say, "Oh yeah, this is a mid-century modern iconoclast mass style in but with a
Cretaceous
twist."
Yeah, could be. Sure, there's some kind of stylistic influence on it, but yeah, it would be interesting to hear what people think. What kind of architectural style do you think the exterior of this building is, folks in the chat? Krish asks, what are those dotted lines? I assume that's hidden geometry, right?
That surely is. So I've got this set to a keyboard shortcut, but I am just toggling hidden lines on and off, which is up here in the old view. Nope. Edge style. Got my hidden geometry, hidden objects. So I toggle that on, hidden geometry, and that's super useful since, ultimately everything in SketchUp is straight edges, and you kind of have to work within that paradigm. And that can be a strength, but it can also be something that you just want to work with, not against. Or it can really frustrate you. So you'll see me toggling that on and off as I go quite a lot. That's
nice.
a great
Yeah, good to have it in
question.
a shortcut. That's definitely one of the ones that, good to have a custom keyboard shortcut for that, and like, hide rest of model and stuff like that. So cool, that's that. Transom in Vancouver, Washington, pardon me, may get up to 97 degrees today, hot and humid all week. Ooh, that's a spicy one.
Yeah, it is. Oof. Sorry.
Definitely get in front of the fan or pop into somewhere with AC if you can. On a lighter note, what do you get if you cross a dinosaur with a pig? Jurassic Park. Lawrence with another great one there. Xavier says Lauren Polizzi released a bunch of pictures from the film's production sets with views that were never seen before, including this very scenario. They're exactly 30 years ago this month. So that's pretty awesome. Maybe
That
some of
is
these,
awesome.
some of the images that you got were from the production designer.
That would be fantastic. Oh,
Oh gosh. Okay, so a couple people said, "What style do you think it is?" They said brutalist style. It's a pretty good estimation. Disney style, said Keggy. Brontalism. Michael chimed in with that one there, so very good. Mid-Cretaceous modern. Very, very good. Very good. And we had a couple people in the chat requesting that you
Save.
Well, thank you. I will do so.
But you planned ahead and got ahead of it because you did some prepping and saving. I noticed that you weren't untitled riding up at the top. So
that part's true. We started like with this example, and so thankfully we started with something. But I always appreciate appreciate the sentiment all the same.
yeah, it's a good reminder. When will we have the next live? Next live, we don't know the topic yet, do we?
I don't think so. I don't know that Aaron has figured out what he wants to do next week, but
oh, then yeah, it'll be a surprise next week. But it will be next week, same time, same place, the SketchUp YouTube channel on Friday at noon Mountain Time. So whatever time it is there right now, minus half an hour is when we start on Fridays. Last week we had a little bit of a break for summer vacation, summer break, but we're back in full force, and you can bet we will be back next week. So don't miss it. Yeah,
ooh,
it's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. I don't know what this is, but we're just we're sort of making up some of this as we go.
I like it.
Get these windows in here.
Mid-century Mesozoic. I like it.
These windows.
Transom said trying to keep Warren going down to the Columbia River and dunking the feet in the old river. That'll help cool you down. So smart thinking.
Sounds nice. Sounds nice.
Yeah. Looks like we got a technical question. Why does control copy not work in SketchUp 2021? Hard to diagnose here on the stream, but if you want to check out forums.sketchup.com, and if you can post some screenshots and more information about your operating system and your SketchUp version, all that kind of stuff, that's where we have the pros to help you out with questions of that nature. So that's the place to go with that one. Will there be a final render? Usually you do some, what's the extension that you use to get the thumbnail images?
I do a little bit of, I'm going to have to hover just to, ambient occlusion and render SketchFX. I would love to do a simple V-Ray ambient occlusion. Last time I tried that, though, on the old Lego model, I just crashed SketchUp and we had to run away with our tail between our legs. It blew up. So yes, we'll do a little something, but I don't know what, we'll see how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do a little more, like say, V-Ray stuff. I just don't trust launching it live.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. And you know what? I should caveat, because V-Ray I think is a lot more stable than, let's say, years ago. But the nature of a couple things, internally we use various versions of SketchUp. I've got SketchUp Studio running on here. SketchUp Studio is not necessarily officially Mac because some of the tools don't work on a Mac, and the V-Ray license between Studio and standard SketchUp Pro and stuff, I think they're causing trouble. So I'm not saying that you'll have trouble. I'm just saying my own setup is unfortunately a little bit wonky.
Yeah. And plus, we've talked about, rendering stuff in the past and doing it on live stream, but unfortunately, rendering usually is not the most exciting stuff to watch in real time. Actual modeling usually is a little more exciting visually. But if that's something you guys are interested in, we certainly can. And as Eric mentions here, he'd probably be the one at the helm for a rendering stream. But yeah, as he points out, usually there's not enough time to model and render. So, but we could figure it out if that's something you guys would be interested to see. Will Tyson ever do a live Scan Essentials modeling session?
Oh.
What do you think about that?
We can do. I'll tell you the couple things that first come to mind. Scan Essentials is one of those things that is only in Studio and only on Windows. Actually, something that probably a lot of you wish we would do more. So that's not an excuse. I'm sure there's a lot more of you that wish we would do these on Windows, not on Mac. But with those two caveats, Scan Essentials, it would be great to demo it. Let's say we'll consider it. I don't have. We'd have to configure. It's just technical stuff that we'd have to figure out on our end because our streaming is not set up in such a way. But I do think even if you don't use Scan Essentials, a lot of people would find it very interesting all the same. So
yeah,
So
100%.
we should.
Yeah, and we're all our snooty Mac only video production team. A lot of the SketchUp team is on Mac, but of course we know a lot of people who actually use SketchUp use Windows, and so that's one of the downfalls of just being on Mac is not having access to those great tools. And product manager of SketchUp Studio, Olivia, in the chat here says, if you're looking to check out V-Ray and Scan Essentials, just a reminder that you can download the SketchUp Studio trial for 30 days on the SketchUp site. So definitely take it for a spin. And yeah. And she also says if you have issues with licensing for V-Ray, to let her know.
I have issues with licensing. Save again. Let's see, how are we doing? 12:40. Okay, we need to get cracking to get on the inside of here before too long here, and we've got to build our doorway. So let's do this. I don't know if we may not get to this little section. Best I can tell, this comes up and is a waterfall down. But let's get this ramp and this doorway built before we do that and see how we're doing on time, because we may just kind of let that be. We'll see.
Sounds good.
The ramp, if anybody's done this, there's a couple methods that we could try, and depending on what you're doing, they may work more or less. So let me show a couple of the I guess problems that you can encounter. So if I copy that surface and then move it over here, let's say 100 feet so that we know where it is. Let's move this roof out of here. If we could just say, hey, what happens if we grab this guy and we'll force it to move down in the blue axis down to here?
Easy.
He's on fire now.
This may, visually, if this was just a quick representation, maybe that's all you need, right? So if I group this and move it back, it gets the idea across. That may be all you need. a couple things that do happen though, if you wanted a cleaner version, when you take arcs and you sort of force them into straight down, it does change the curve of the arc a little bit. So you can see we're pulling away from the wall here. We've merged into the wall a little bit here. And the geometry we created by doing that is not ideal. So again, as a very quick hack, that could work. I do want to show another method that will create a cleaner ramp. So let me undo a bit here.
Oops.
Don't clap yet. We haven't. We
Hey,
can
that
still
was
fail
even just a
miserably.
setup, getting ready for that. Got him fired up.
So let's see what we got here. If we're saying our ramp starts and you know, in the real world, we need to worry very much about actually what this ramp is and that, yeah, and make sure it works. We're not going to do that here. We're just going to pretend that our ramp starts, let's say, right about here. In the, you know what's curious, in the movie, you can even see this, I think. There's, for having a ramp, which you assume is ADA access, there's like 2 steps to start it. Then there's a ramp. It's really odd.
That's not
I was like, how come, what is that? I don't know. But
yeah, they're like, the side of the building is ramped. Why don't they just use that ramp? Forget it. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's doesn't seem very helpful.
Yeah.
You're in a wheelchair.
But there's not a single rectangle. So I want to create kind of the path that we need to follow. And if we were to draw this, that's one side. Let me make sure. I don't want this merging with the building, so I need to draw this outside of our group. So that's one. And then if we come up here to the other one, so I'll draw this triangle too, that to that, to this point. So this, if we, let's just group this, and then I can, you can see there's just the slightest, like it doesn't quite work. So this, however, is going to do what we need. All we need is to extend this surface out into this wall. So let's, doesn't matter how much, let's just make it a big ol', I'm going to hover over the surface, hold shift to lock, and now it's locked to that surface. That's what we wanted. So take this, intersect faces with model. That will give us, now let's move that out, the old 100 feet or so, something we can remember. That will give us the path that we need. Excuse me. Then we'll erase this stuff. In fact, we can erase that too. We just need those. You can use, at this point, we could use something like soapskin bubble on this. And that would create a version for us. There's a little left over here. I'm not sure which of these is the one we want. But in the spirit of Friday Live modeling, we can also just do a little bit of stitching here.
Ooh.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
And get ready for some stitching.
Oh, you know what? There's a tiny little, I'm gonna have to be careful of that one. Now, when I created the these paths, I made these circles and these arcs higher, a higher number than what you typically would, just for the purpose of we're going to have a little more resolution. But if everybody hangs on for half a mo, we are going to stitch our way into a ramp. Only take
Hold on.
about a minute. Sometimes, yes, plugins work great and save time, but there's also times you're like, you know what? This is not going to take that long in the grand scheme of things. However, if you ran off for a nature break or coffee break, you go right ahead.
Everyone, water and snack break.
You had that queued up. Matt, you have everything, man. You are a genius.
Always ready for it. I did want to address a comment in here saying that they liked your style of teaching and that it's easy to understand. If you like Tyson's teaching, check out SketchUp Campus. I dropped the link in the chat here, learn.sketchup.com, where we have comprehensive SketchUp training done by Tyson, and also you have Eric here in the chat. So it's the best place for front to back, top to bottom, comprehensive getting started stuff, workflows. If you want to learn about specific, if you want to learn about layout or other parts of the SketchUp product offering, check out SketchUp Campus, learn.sketchup.com for all your learning needs.
Please do join us. I will caveat that a few people have also commented that not only is Campus great for learning SketchUp, which it is, thank you. It's a great place. And Eric teaches some really advanced, amazing stuff there. Some people go in, listen to my dulcet tones because it puts them to sleep. So you do you.
Uh-oh. No, I think that's a compliment. I see people talk on YouTube about, there's some YouTubers who people say they fall asleep to, but you can learn, like, isn't that like years back people used to play like Spanish tapes when they slept, because you can, like, by synthesis, like, learn stuff when you're sleeping. So maybe that's how they're learning SketchUp, is through the sleep mode.
Get your Mozart on, for sure.
Perhaps, or maybe it's just it's two things in one. It's you have the SketchUp knowledge and also the lullaby. So
nice. I don't know how high this is be. We'll make our curved ramp here something, and we'll just intersect that with the model. Make sure it overlaps. I grouped this temporarily. I can ungroup it now and grab our relevant geometry. Might move it a little more to get that edge out of the way, but it's going to work. Intersect with selection.
very nice, very nice. Transom suggests tiki modern for the style of this
Tiki
exterior.
modern.
Does definitely have the roof definitely has the tiki vibe.
I know, we just need a couple of huge lava lamps in here.
Ooh, that'd make it even more cozy. I like it. Raphael joining us. Hey, good to see you.
Welcome, welcome. Also, I didn't know, shout out Olivia. I don't know how often you join us in these Friday models, but thanks for joining us. And it's nice to see you here as well.
Yeah,
Olivia,
absolutely.
being our product manager for studio, so she's got a lot to try and keep up with. Coming out of the UK. Okay, we're close to an hour in. We better tackle this door and start working on the inside. But so far, if anybody says like, oh, no, we absolutely have to have something else in here, I don't know. But you're welcome to say, okay, what do we absolutely can't forget on the exterior before we jump into the inside? I'm going to make that.
You've got this.
Oh, phew, thanks. I was doubting myself.
No reason to. No, I think this is definitely recognizable as the exterior, and I think anybody who says differently is fooling themselves. Cool. A couple chats here. Lawrence says, what do you call a group of singing dinosaurs? A tyrannosaurus. Very good.
Oh, man.
And Aiden's in the chat. Says, hi,
Wait.
Tyson. It's Aiden.
Yeah, our Aiden?
Aiden Chopra.
Our very own Aiden Chopra? Oh my goodness. All right, everybody.
Celebrity cameo.
For 10 plus years, Aiden was the voice of SketchUp and the I don't know, the mix of playful and knowledgeable aspects of kind of like how SketchUp communicated. Anyway, welcome. It's great to see you, Aiden. Hope you've been well. Yeah, for those of you who've been around a while, hopefully you'll recognize Aiden.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, he's undeniably Mr. SketchUp, or was for quite a long time. So yeah, he says, you're Aiden.
My very own. I'm very personal, very possessive.
Says he's using SketchUp again every day, and he's glad to be back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, great to hear, and thanks of course, for swinging by.
Well, you know what? I don't mind shouting out. If anybody, Aiden left to do a very, very cool project. He works now at a company called Bitsbox. And I don't know if he wants us shouting them out, but I'm going to anyway, because they do coding. They teach coding that is friendly for kids. And they create an environment that teaches kids to create their own kind of little games. And underlying it all is this sort of, you're teaching, I don't know, elements of JavaScript and coding concepts. So it's very cool. Bitsbox. Aiden and another one of our former engineers, who are both great people, are doing some amazing work over there. So should call that out.
Yeah, totally. Great call out. And I dropped the link in the chat for folks who are interested in learning more about Bitsbox. Very cool. So check it. Are we going to share the SketchUp model afterwards? Yes, we're going to put it on 3D Warehouse. Is that correct?
That'd be fine. Yeah. It'll, again, it's a rough hack of together a model, but absolutely happy to share.
Yeah. Hey, 2 hours. That's the restriction. Every design has restrictions and constraints, and ours is time here today. So everyone can understand where that comes in. But no, hey, somebody asked about a render earlier. Hey, snag this model from 3D Warehouse after it's up and render it yourself. We want to see them. Drop them in the forum thread. Mm-hmm. The forum thread link is in the description of this video. So if you do happen to make a render, hey, pop it in there. We love to see it. And I'm sure so would everybody else watching. So, hey, let's do it.
Yes, please. This little keyboard shortcut, this is not a native tool. This is, I think, Tig's mirror tool. But as long as we're shouting stuff out, as a mirror tool, thank you for creating this one, Tig. I find it very useful.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I need to mirror some geometry.
Come on, you can do it.
That wasn't really relevant, but you know, you got to have some of the non sequitur sound drops in here.
So much treasure.
So much what?
So much treasure.
Treasure? Or was that tragedy?
Oh boy, that'd be a sad one for a Friday afternoon. So much tragedy.
So, I mean, it's kind of appropriate. A lot of people get eaten in these movies.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, moment of silence for the lawyer who gets eaten on the toilet.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. But
That is,
yeah, no, I think that's a pirate impression. So, so Aiden says he's using SketchUp to model stuff for an online world we're making. Ooh, that's exciting. A nice little teaser. Ooh.
interesting. Very fun.
And he also says, nice job and have a great weekend. And same to you.
Great job.
And wishing a great weekend to each and all of our viewers as we do each and every week here on SketchUp Live. So thanks for watching and enjoy. Can I use SketchUp on a MacBook Air for rendering as well? You could. It's probably not going to be as performant as a computer with a little more power behind it, more computing power, but certainly possible. Just might have to wait a little bit longer and have those fans blowing at full blast to get some of that processing done. But it's there. It can technically run SketchUp. Well, it can run SketchUp fine, but the renderer is where you can. MacBook Air model.
Although, I mean, the new MacBook Air has their M1 chip, so maybe it'll be a little more robust than even we might think. Is that right?
Very true. I assume that's right. I don't keep up on all the. I'm sure there's some tech Mac people watching the WWDC and things of this nature, staying up on all the newest machines. Chime in, anybody in the chat, if you use MacBook Air for SketchUp and rendering, let us know how it performs. I know the MacBook Pros have been blowing stuff out of the water performance wise, but I'm not sure if the MacBook Airs have the same chips in there. So LMK.
Yeah.
Must go faster. A lot of great quotes here in the chat.
You're right about that. You're so right about that. Must.
You are about 3 minutes to the halfway point here, so just giving you a heads up where we're at.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, a couple of people chiming in. There's a M2 MacBook Air now that Nick says would crush some rendering. So uses the M1 Mac Mini and it's been great. So hey, yeah, do it big.
That's awesome.
You got the new MacBook Air. Render it up.
Okay, well then I've got 2 minutes to make a door, thankfully. I've got my geometry already drawn because I cheated. Or prepared. One of those two things.
It can be both.
I cheated and I prepared.
Isn't that what they say? Like, it's the time spent making like a cheat sheet, then that's basically studying. So you are in good company.
So I've got that one, and then let's take this guy.
And Kaggy's saying it's a Unix system. I know this. Yeah. Too bad that kind of file structure didn't take off, where it's like kind of like little boxes on a 3D like campus kind of looking thing. And then when you clicked each one, it like slowly, it looks like a SketchUp animation, obviously, slowly animates to the next one. And then you have to click through one by one. Oh boy. Get the M2 MacBook Air and then run some of those Unix system animations from the first Jurassic Park, and hot dog, you be in good shape.
I know, right? Some of those things now. It's not, I guess it's more nostalgic a little bit than purely dated, but yeah. Okay, my geometry got off a little bit, but we're going to just not care because it's going to be fine. I don't know what happened there, but this is our door.
That's the way to do it. Hey, it's part of the movie set anyways. It's like, on set it probably wasn't an exact fit that's gonna, keep your insulation up to code or whatever, but as long as it looks like a door and acts like a door, then you're in pretty good shape.
There's
Honey
the
says, oh,
what's that?
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and I'm sure there's other people out there. There's the part of me that's like, keep moving, it's okay. And then there's the part of me that's like, what the heck happened? I cannot let it go. I cannot
Got to get to the bottom of this.
leave it alone. There we go. That's it.
Nice. Yeah, no, it looks right to me.
All right, we've got it.
Honey says they use MacBook Air M1 with SketchUp and it works perfectly, and so do the rendering softwares. So there you go. You heard it here.
Halfway point. Let's see where we're at. Like I say, there's I think this like a tiered kind of water feature, and these walls do their own like step down as well. But let's get rid of our colors here. That's taking a lot of screen space. But all right, we're okay. We're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Like I said, this is certainly, you can tell where we are and what's going on. So I like it.
All right, we just need a little ground plane there. All right, on to the inside. Now, what are we going to do in here? You know what? We've got a few, let's say, here's another little aspect. When you study something like this, trying to replicate what they've done, and again, finding those plans, it's interesting to find things like, you assume, because like all of the interior, much of it is based off of this arc, and then the exterior, there's another arc, series of arcs. All of this is based off this point. And I would have assumed all of these columns were evenly spaced, but they're just a little bit off in that, if you look at this one and then you think, 45 degrees would be right there, but it's not. 30, it's not. They're closer to, what are we calling this? 35, which means they're a little bit closer in the back there. Again, just one of these kind of fun details that like, okay, yeah, the entrance, they're a little bit skewed, creates a bit of a different perspective than if they were perfectly
perfectly aligned, perfectly spaced within
that circle.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, little things like that are, okay.
That are making your job a little bit harder. What are you doing, production designer on Jurassic Park 1?
Come on.
The echoes of your work is being felt downstream.
Yeah.
Brutal.
All right, so this just kind of, again, I didn't know how these rooms and stuff went off quite to the sides. And this upper balcony, we are going to let's make that a few more sides.
We got a question on how to push-pull a curved surface. The native push-pull tool only works on a single face and perpendicular movements to that face. So probably your best bet is to use the extension called the joint push pull. As the easiest answer to that question, just look up joint push pull. Artemis in the chat, hello.
Absolutely concur.
Nice.
How's it going, man?
We'll add a little
Stefan.
bit of that.
Stefan says hello from France.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, D-Cube, I missed your question from earlier. My bad, not keeping up with the chat properly. They asked, Tyson, when you update SketchUp, how do you carry your personal shortcuts over to the new version? Do you have to manually type them all in when you go to the next version, or how do you handle that?
Honestly, I'm trying to remember now because maybe I'll say something wrong. Shortcuts, depending on if you're on Windows or Mac, there is a file. Is it plist on a Mac? If Colin's in here, he'll know. And then on Windows, I think you can export a little file that you can then import that will carry your shortcuts. But I'm also thinking that the shortcuts actually just carry over on a desktop. Could be wrong about that.
I can't remember which version it was, but there was one that all the versions after that automatically carry over. Maybe somebody else in the chat can say which version if they know, but yeah, I know before that you had to manually punch them in each time.
The thing that is tricky, I was worried you were going to ask, how do you carry your extensions over? I don't know of any good answer for that. You kind of have to document what your extensions are and bring them in. It's a problem that our team's aware of. Again, in the chat, if anyone has suggestions for their best migration methods. It's also something that comes up on the forums every time there's kind of a major new release, because it's a interesting, mean, real challenge.
Yeah.
You know what? Just in case, I created this little thing. I want to do exactly what I just did without. I don't want this outer. I want to be able. Oh no, it's trying to do it anyway. I want to preserve the outer one as a straight edge, which would make it easier to expand or contract that. But let's try that one more time. There we go, like that.
Nice.
Just in case. I don't know if we'll need it or if we'll even be able to mess with it. But because again, this goes back to that very good question of like, what's going on the interior of here? There's the first floor, which goes off. There's the second floor, which it can't go off into a ton of stuff because it's that curved, it's on top. So is it just a mezzanine or something that doesn't? I don't know. But
yeah.
But it's a good question.
Yeah. Have to imagine in your own head where how everything fits together and where it goes. But hey, your guess is as good as mine.
And better than mine.
We have a couple questions about layout.
Layout.
Going from raster to hybrid takes several minutes on a Mac. Is there any plans to make it faster? Do you have any tips for preparing models for layout or for making stuff go faster in layout? I know obviously that's always a priority of making stuff work better and faster as far as improving the software goes, but any actionable tips people can use now in their workflow to make it run better?
The best tip we can give, I think, is to really do not render everything as vector. I know that there's some hacks and people sort of reasonably say, hey, I want this to work full sail. I don't want to use a hack just to use their software. But it is common once you're using it to most of your stuff, just vector is better than, not vector, rasters, I think better than people give it credit for. You can export your raster versions of your SketchUp models in medium or high format and get quite a lot of fidelity. So so people typically will layer just a pure line work section layer on top of, say this is a Nick Sonder workflow or something, on top of other layers, including raster layers, so that you're not rendering everything as vector, because it is absolutely true. If you've got a lot of vector layers, it crushes the speed of layout, unfortunately. And yes, we're always trying to make it faster, and we have experimented with a lot of different ways to do so. And my best understanding, not being one of the engineers, is that we've found some solutions that work, but they typically, I don't know why, when we've found solutions to make some things faster, it makes other things slower. So we haven't found something that just overall it's kind of a really difficult challenge. But we're definitely aware of it, and you're right. Like it's an incredible tool. It is very usable, but you do have to be very considerate in how you use it. So I don't know. I just talked a lot. If any of that made sense.
Yeah, no, totally. I think, let us know in the chat if you have any additional questions, but I think everybody would, everybody wants the layout to run faster. But like you said, it's like SketchUp too, is like, you can set up your model or your project in a certain way that will make it work better, like make it run faster and easier. And I think, like you said, be considerate of what your final output is. Like maybe you don't go into hybrid until you're right before you're actually ready to render it, because I've heard Nick Sonder talk about this, who, if you aren't familiar, is like, he uses layout at a very high level. When you're zooming in super close on something and you're like, oh, that line is jagged, in layout, if you're in raster mode and it's like, I don't like that jagged line, what you're doing is you're holding, like, you're as if, imagine the document is in front of you like a 1/4 inch from your face is how close you actually are up. You're never going to actually look at it that close. So even if you did print it out, like Tyson said, in like medium or high quality just in raster mode, you probably wouldn't be able to tell that. But just keep that in mind. Like, you'd have to zoom far out to see what your eye would actually see when you are printing that document. So it's something to keep in mind when you're working in there. But so.
And as always, if it's a great question, but if anybody out there uses layout a fair amount and has suggestions, to call out Campus again and give credit to Eric. He's done 2 courses on Campus on layout, and he does cover some of these aspects, where he even does like a comparison of the raster vector to show that, again, it's like Matt was just saying, the difference is not as heavy as you see on screen, because things are rendered at a lower resolution on screen than they're typically printed at. So you get higher resolution on your output, and you should only vectorize certain things. So again, Eric has 2 courses in campus on creating layout, doing layout, a basics course that'll just cover sort of like wrapping your head around layout if you haven't used it, and of course on creating a simple document set that goes into some of these things. So hopefully you'll find people will find that useful. I think there's some great tips in there.
Yeah, top notch, and like I mentioned before, very in-depth and comprehensive on how to use the tool best. So I dropped the links in the chat to both of those campus courses.
Sweet.
Check them out, add them to the bookmarks, and get some learning in. Get some knowledge. It's always good to get some knowledge.
What just happened? What?
La 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 la. Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, hold on, everybody.
La 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 la.
Because I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
We're at the 7th inning stretch. You know what, everybody? We're at the 7th inning stretch. Everyone.
We're moving forward.
Whew. Here we go.
Everybody shake it out and
wow. That's fun. I don't know what it is, but it's fun.
Yeah, no, I needed a little bit of a break, so now that's the breather we need to get these roofs done and keep it going. So we have a question here about how to get softer corners on walls. They are too sharp and it doesn't look realistic. I think probably what you're talking about is rendering effect to make shadows more realistic, like in the corner of walls. Ambient occlusion is the name of that type of shadows that you're liking in there. And Tyson, I know you, like a lot of renderers have that built in. You have like a separate extension that just does ambient occlusion. Is that right?
I do. We can do a quick, So let's.
I mean, we don't have to do it right now. You can save it for later when we do the actual rendering at the end, if you'd like, or it's your call. You're in the driver's seat.
It should. Okay, everybody, hold me accountable to be like, you shouldn't have done that. But let's just click a little ambient occlusion button here, and we get a little bit of a render effect. Now, what you're talking about is more so than this. What you're, I think, suggesting is which is very true, is all of these corners, right? And so, a couple things that happen that you may already know about is just the ability to use follow me to create chamfered edges. And if you don't know what I just did there, look into the tool follow me. But the other tool to look into is Fredo Corner.
Which is an extension.
Which is an extension and will help you to go beyond what follow me does, and give chamfered edges to a lot more of your pieces here. So
yeah, totally. Good call. I know a lot of people who do rendering, especially when you have to see like close-up details of edges and make them look more realistic, then yeah, doing rounding the corners is a must for those kind of workflows. So
yeah. I'm going to cheat again a little bit. If I put this my roof here on the center, it's a little too large. But again, not knowing how they resolved some of that. It's too large on the outside, but I fear too restrictive on the inside, so the actual roof doesn't have that, but we're cheating because we're gonna make this work at least visually.
I like cheating. Hacks.
Ah, yes.
Easier.
And we could draw in extra, pieces here that would represent the windows, but we're just going to leave it open because again, visually, that'll do for us what we need. So let's see if that works for us. I think it should be close. Just center that there and then move that up. That is closer. And just gonna knock that visually back. Oop, something like that.
Nice. I like it. Michael said, "You're killing it, Tyson."
Thank you. We're gonna have to run with that. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, this one is interesting. We've got those curved stairs to tackle. I'm going to open our doors here a little bit so that we can walk on through.
Oh. I don't have a door opening sound effect.
Oh man, that's pretty good though. That's pretty good though. So here we are. Let's look around. It's looking pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's see if we.
I'd walk into this.
Yeah. Bring that back. Oops. Zoomed out. You know, I'm going to make our field of view 60, a little bit wider, since we're working on the interior now. Okay, I'm going to throw some beams up here in the roof, and then we're going to tackle these curved stairs, which I've got a method that should work for it. Again, not perfectly like how you would build stairs, but visually it is going to work for us. So
that's all we need. The visual look of stairs. We just have to virtually walk up them.
Yeah. So I made this a component, which means that we just need to create some rough beams here. This is too big, but it will be our start. Making a component and throw it here. So let's slim it down.
Oh boy, sounds like my plans for summer.
How's those slimming plans going?
Oh, I abandoned them long ago.
Best intentions.
This beam is doing a lot better than me.
Using
some people, I think, referencing these kind of sound effects are saying I'm off my rocker. And hey, folks, I'm saying it is Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. You got to be a little psyched.
Boom shakalaka!
You know, we got the iced coffee, your beverage of choice, and SketchUp. It makes me want to sing a tune.
If you know, if that makes Matt off his rocker, I think you know, come back and visit us more often. I think we can see Matt more off his rocker.
Oh yeah, I've done way worse than just the singing, folks. You really are missing out.
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, how many? And actually, I'm curious. How many of you watched the trailer for this one? Because not just a thumbnail, Matt made an actual trailer for this live session that was brilliant. Straight up brilliant.
Whoa!
Well, I appreciate you saying so, and I've been trying to do them for the past couple, just trying to give people a little taste of what to expect from these SketchUp live streams. Let me know if you guys care for those or or even watched it, but definitely try to set the vibe early. Try to get people hyped for what's to come. Because I'm excited for hopping on these streams. So I want to spread the excitement. But yeah.
It was fun. So Matt may be off his rocker, but he's in pretty good company with the whole SketchUp crew. At least the live crew.
2 live crew. Oh, it's not. People are asking where it is. It's not up anymore. It only plays before the live. If you go to the live event page before we actually go live, that's where the trailer is. So hey, you'll have to tune in for next week's trailer. Just pop to the link before we go live, and you'll get to take a look at it. Transom here saying we're all a little off our rockers, especially Tyson when he was modeling his rocker. So I want to say good joke there.
Nice callback. Oops. Where'd my... what happened? I lost my... Okay, I don't know how many of these are. We're going to make them 30 degrees.
Nice. That sounds about right. 30 degrees sounds spot on. And speaking of 30 degrees, we had a question about how you changed your field of view. This was earlier. But I think you were in the zoom command, right? The zoom tool. And then you just type a number, and that's how many degrees are in your field of view. Is that the correct?
That's absolutely correct, and we'll just do a little visual illustration here. But you nailed it, Matt. So there is a field of view tool, but the easiest way is that you just hit the zoom tool, and down here in the field of view, but as always, you're not putting your cursor down there, so I could just type 30. Actually, the default in SketchUp is 35, a 35 degree field of view. If I hit enter, it feels like we've zoomed in, but we've actually just changed, the camera aspect. So field of view, if I hit 70, that's going to be much wider, more like a fisheye, and you can see
like a GoPro kind of view.
So, people have different preferences. I set my templates to model. I typically model in a 45-50 field of view. Wider field of view from the start, but like I say, the default's 35. A lot of people like that, and some people model wider, especially if you do a lot of interiors. So let's change that back.
I
to
think
60.
Also, if you're in the zoom command, can you hold shift and drag, and does that change the field of view?
You are absolutely right. Let's Matt's nailing it today. You can see I'm holding the shift key and zoom.
Yeah,
Whoa.
So you want to dial it in exactly to a specific view.
Looks like 120 is as wide as we go.
Whoa!
Zoom. That looks fun.
Whoa!
Whoa! Whoa!
On your butts.
Look at all that treasure!
Everything looks like treasure when you're in that wide of a view.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We were doing stairs. Okay. Okay, stairs.
Yeah, curved stairs. There we go.
Curved stairs.
You've got this.
I hope so. We're wrestling with demons, dinosaurs, something. I'm going to hide our roof, and let's figure out how we're going to do this. So if you go out there in the wide world of YouTubes and looking at how people approach stairs, I just noticed that my column's off here. I have to fix that real quick or it'll bug me. See how it's off on my little component?
Oh, yeah.
How do I do that? I just need to... So distractible, man. How never get anything done. Sorry, here we are. There are a couple methods, including there's a tool out there for basically you can rotate something, and then have it record that move and repeat that. So it's kind of a repeat copy function. It may be called that. Maybe there's one or two out there. That's one way that you could do it and preserve components. The way that, each step is a component. The way we're going to do it is not going to preserve our steps as a component, though we're going to start there. But what we're going to do, so I'm looking at this curve here, and if we look over here, it actually has like 36 segments, so it's a higher than typical curve. And this is the length of the curved stairs. And again, looking over here, my arc length is near 40 feet. So I want to keep that. Rise run, we're not going to be using actual accurate ones. So we would need to calculate this out. And the length of the stair would be based on that rise run tread. We're going to be close enough, but again, we're hacking it. So here's what we're going to do. Let me get out of the group. So from basically here, I'm going to draw up in the let me copy this curve and paste it outside of here. And then draw a vertical line up to where we're trying to get to. Because I forget. Looks like that's 17 feet to the top of that. So we've got about 14 feet of height from here to that second underneath balcony, but the total height is 17. We've got those. Let's group it. And then, so we need it was 39 feet. We'll make it 39 feet. We need to start with a straight edge. So 39 feet, which gets us close to that curve. And then let's draw down again so that we can have this to work with. So here's our basic setup. Let me right click on this and go to divide. Oops, that's not what I meant. Right click. I want the native divide. That divide edges is a extension, but divide. And as I drag up and down, it's going to divide this into different segments. And I'm just going to find one that's going to be close. So again, this is our rise. Typical rise, maybe 7 inches, or tell us from other parts of the world, whatever centimeters. Plus, then there's the tread. Again, I don't know, so I'm going to make it something like 8. This one, if we look in the corner, it gives me 22 segments at, or 24 at 8, roughly 8.5. I'm going to go with 22 segments at roughly 9 inches.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, it'll be close enough for us. So now we're going to start drawing our stair treads. So we're going to draw this out. How wide are stairs? I think I had drawn them at like 6 feet wide. Make them like 7 feet wide, something. I don't know. We'll make them 7 feet. Just for a nice odd number.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to make this this isn't going to matter. We're going to destroy it, but again, and then we'll pull this out, let's say 14 or 15. One side's going to end up being wider than the other, but and if we look at this again, let's we'll make these kind of interesting. These stairs, they're kind of these concrete or stone blocks with a chamfered edge, kind of something interesting. So let's do something like that.
A couple things in the chat here. MAJ stair is a nice extension for curved stairs. People talking about the height of steps 6.5 to 7.5 is good. Raphael says in metric, max height of 18 centimeters, which is just over 7 inches, is preferred. And then we also have a note here from Transom that I don't really understand the words. I'm planning to make a Krenov style smoothing plane, so I'm going to order a Huck blade and a chip breaker today.
I know what that means. That's awesome. It's simply a Krenov style hand plane is a way of making a hand plane where you create a block, cut the sides off, carve the inside out, and glue the sides back on. And a hawk blade is just a really good quality iron blade to go inside. If you want to geek out with him, you can ask him if he's getting an O1 tool still, or is it A2, O1, or a chromoly? Yeah, that sounds awesome. I hope you'll post that up so for us to see.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see it. I think Tyson probably more so than me, though.
We did do a hand plane model a while back. The old furniture models are fun to do, and this is what we're looking like here. I think we'll run with that. Okay.
I think that looks great.
And there are several extensions which do curved stairs. Yeah, absolutely. So it's I'm glad that that's being called out because this is just one method. It may not, or maybe probably not, even the best method. It's just one of these that it's like, I think we can pull this one off. So we'll see. I'm always curious when we get this done if anyone will say, you know what, here's a alternate and potentially better method. I'm going to copy this up here to that point, and if we remember that we made 22, we divided it into 22, so I'm going to make this, make one copy, and then I will do 21, maybe 22. But that will give us the correct number in between there. Capiche? So far, so good.
Oh, that's beautiful. Bellissimo.
Bellissimo. And
Transom
just to
say that,
what's that?
Transom says that infill plane model was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Carry on.
Oh, I'm just going to make our treads a little wider so that they at least nearly overlap. So grab these sides and do that. Something like that. Cool.
I like it.
Okay, here we go. Let's go have some fun. We're going to cut this out. We're going to move this over here to the side. So let's move this over 100 feet. So let's move it 200 feet. This is also just... So what we're going to use is CFM or CLF, Chris Fulmer's Shape Bender. It's this little icon right here. And the way this works, if you haven't used it before, is we have I moved it 100. I moved it exactly over, and then I'm just like wherever. Oh well. We have the pieces generally that we need. So I'm ungrouping this as a whole. I'm going to take our curve here. It's still in the same orientation over here. And then I can get rid of some of these edges. If you want to preserve, to make changes to our steps earlier, we should make a copy. I'm notorious, again, for having a graveyard of stuff just in case I want to go back, but usually I just leave it, and then I just have stuff everywhere. But I'm going to take all our components here and ungroup them, explode them, so that I can then make this just one single group. That's necessary for making this tool work. And then the other thing I want to do is draw a line that basically corresponds to the length of this. So I will draw this. Doesn't matter if I draw it down, but so I want to draw it down, draw it forward to that point. And finally, I'm going to rotate this whole assembly so that it's on the red axis. This tool works by making this first line on the red axis. That's just how it works. Our curve doesn't have to be, but this line does. So we're going to take this as a group, hit Bender. I'm going to hit this line here, one. So it has a start end, and then I'm going to hit the curve. And
Don't mess up.
Oh, no promises. So you can see actually what it's doing already. It's giving us something pretty interesting. It's not going the right direction for us. So there's a couple things we can do. If I hit the up and down arrow keys, then you can reverse. So hit the arrow keys to try reversing the start and end and which way. But this, if I hit enter to accept, that is along the direction of what we want. Let's look at it though, because, okay. Sort of, but we've got a couple of wonky stairs here. So let's undo that. We'll get better results because it's going to be based on this curve if we give it more segments to work on. So this curve right now is 36 segments. I'm going to bump that up just a lot. Let's say 80 or something. And then we'll have more to work with, and hopefully we'll get even treads all the way. So let's do that again. Select the stairs. Select the tool. This is our edge. There we go. I'm going to tap arrow keys to get some changes. And hey, look at that. I think that was
From
pretty good.
way downtown, bang!
Bang! Boom!
Sweet.
Boom,
There we go.
shakalaka.
There's our curved stairs. Awesome. You know what else I like about this? Is we still got our group over here. The way that these are built, and of course the way you can't just have these floating in space, even though, again, we're approximating a lot of stuff. But, it's got this center beam going up there. Let's create that too. Because while we've got this set up, we can actually use that setup to further our stairs. So let's say something like this, and for now we'll just make this really tall. So if we take, I don't know what this should be, but if we take something like that with this angle, then we take I'm going to group this so we can work on it without messing up other stuff.
Good call. Omar in the chat had a question about the hidden geometry with the shape bender extension. So maybe after the next time you do, he says, show us the hidden lines.
You betcha. You're right. It's each one is kind of uniquely based on that curve. So it's a good question. We'll show you. So.
And Andy in says, bang!
Bang!
And a late hello from Halifax, UK.
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in, Andy. Good to see you.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. We're on group. Nope, that didn't. Let's try that again. Group and clean this up.
Nice. And I don't want to put any pressure on you.
No problem.
But I got about 15 minutes left on the clock here for the 2-hour mark. So just giving you a friendly reminder here.
Man, you may not want to put pressure, but boy, howdy. Okay.
Try harder.
I'm going to put this right in the center. Yeah. Okay. Ideally, now that we've got that set up, we can use our previous setup. So I'm going to select that. Select shape bender, select this line, select this curve. Come on, get it. And tap a few keys till it looks right. And by having the very same setup, it actually lines up pretty nicely. So that's kind of fun.
Spent no expense.
Here's the hidden geometry. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, again, you can see sort of each one is based off of its own, and there's some of these with a bit of kind of messy triangulation, but not the worst that you might see. So
yeah, I've seen way worse.
Yeah. So depending on your needs, this may or may not group those together and move those back over here. And we're just gonna move those so that they look like they're about in the right spot.
Omar concurs, not bad at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. All right.
Okay. Phew. We did it. We got stairs in there. Wow. They're like this is the point. Yeah, like you say, we're staring down 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes to model the T-Rex skeleton.
Go.
Challenge
You
accepted. Because as we've established, I cheated. So
Whoa.
Oh
boy, here we go. Let's just finish this off because we need the T-Rex skeleton in there. So I'm going to save that. Let me go here to what's this? T-Rex? What could that be? Boom.
He's on a roll.
I just modeled that, in the 5 minutes before we started. There's me,
Very
confident,
impressive.
because, how amazing. You know what? If Eric is still with us, please call out. So this model of the T-Rex, this one on the left side, is, I think, from Sketchfab, and I forget who the author was, but it's actually a cool... I forget if this real skeleton is in Denmark. I apologize if that's not right, but he actually did the whole photogrammetry scan thing where he walked around it and took 100 pictures and scanned this. So that was a very cool method, and credit to that author again. Please, Eric, if you're in the chat, let us know his name, because Eric shared that with me. And then this one's from the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian
Hmm.
scans some of their artifacts, and so I was able to get that from them. I brought it in. It was much higher res. I brought it in using the skimp plugin to scale down the number of polygons it has, and then sculpted a few rocks. And so let's just copy
Very
that
cool.
here.
We did have one question. How many polys is the T-Rex?
Let's find out. I've broken this up into a few different.
Let's find out.
So we've got 50K in the body, another close to 20K on the head, and each leg. And these are entities, so you know what? That entities include edges and surfaces, so it's not polys.
Well, what's the, if you go to statistics for the whole model, what's the
Okay. Sorry.
face count? No, don't apologize to me. I was just
Statistics, edges and faces.
132,000. That's not bad, eh?
No, it's not bad. If we look at this with the hidden geometry on, you can see when we zoom in, you can see that it's like, yeah, it's
Pretty cleaned
tessellated.
up.
We had to bring it in a way, obviously, that wasn't gonna just absolutely kill SketchUp. So you can see it's definitely gonna serve our purposes, though. Yeah.
Nice. Eric says rigsters.
Rigsters. So thank you.
Thank you, rigsters. Okay, that's all the reverb for the rest of the show. We used up all of our reverb credits, so we have to come back next time.
All right, now we gotta fit these in here. They're big, too big, and the poses of them surely will have their own issues, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're just gonna make them work.
That's what we do here on SketchUp Live. We make it work.
So let's take this. Something like that. And this guy. All right. There we go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Where's my... I'm gonna... Do I still exist in here? Okay, we're really knocking on the 2-hour door. Oh, there we go.
Don't even need a sound effect for that one. That's the real deal. Oh, look at that. To scale. And you better hightail it out of there.
I know. Woo.
Look out behind you.
All right, let's do it. I think we got kind of to the point we wanted to. There's obviously a lot of stuff up here that needs fixing and resolving, but let's have our Jurassic Park adventure. So let's.
Nice. Here, I'll do a little background music. We'll see if it comes through with the noise reduction.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
All right.
Doesn't really match the vibe. But
So we'll place ourselves down here. We just got out of the Jeep. Oh, we've never seen this before. This is amazing. Now we're gonna.
that's good looking.
Now we're gonna walk up those stairs.
I feel like you're Mr. Hammond leading us in.
Walk through the doors and wow.
love this place.
Whoo-wee.
Nice.
And now this is. And now let's walk up those stairs if I don't fall off. Let's see.
Ooh.
Because we never got to do this in the movie.
Can he do it? Ooh. Spared no expense for handrails.
Spared no expense.
That's right. That's up here, and then there's all those folks milling around down there. Woohoo! Yeah.
Looking great.
Oh,
my
man.
gosh.
Woohoo! We got 5 minutes left. I mean, we should make some handrails.
Boom shakalaka!
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm making handrails.
Very nice work. Oh, don't give this guy 5 minutes.
You cannot stop the handrails.
You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
All right. How are we going to do this? Let's see. I'm first going to double click this and weld some edges because we just need. So let's those are 3 feet. We've got to hustle here. We got to hustle. We need to
Hustle.
break that out.
Let's see. People in the chat saying nice work. Many thanks. A great liven. Great effort. Exploding head emoji.
Woohoo!
Transom did say that he told the building department about your lack of handrails.
Oh, Transom always calling us out. Always like keeping us like honest. Man.
But
All right.
I feel like by the time they show up, you'll be we'll be up to code.
Well, up to code, or they'll show up and have to argue handrail issues with the T-Rex, and you know, so you do you.
Let me speak to your manager.
It's like, yeah. I'm gonna do. We'll see if people know this little trick. Aaron showed it in our skill builders, but if you're trying to do multiple handrails, there's a couple ways to do them. And
yeah, because we had a question earlier about push-pull doing multiple surfaces, and so my handrails are a. I want to do more than one. What do I do?
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to copy that over there because we've got 2 of these to build. Quick group this, move it over here, and rotate it into place. So if I take this, let's see, I'm going to weld this again so that we don't have so many segments moving our way around. If I take that and use this surface, oops, explode that. So if I take this, then hit this, it'll use, you know, that surface, but now I can simply delete those outer surfaces and I'm left with my handrails.
Whoa!
Bonus tip. At the
Booyah!
wire. Ove says he's taken off, but hey, thanks for watching. It's just said OSHA might be unhappy with these lack of handrails, but definitely the Star Wars folks, especially the Death Star, people would be fine and dandy with no handrails there.
That is true. Well, thanks for joining us, and for anybody else who's bailing out at this point, because understandable, it is weekend time. I hope everyone has a safe and fantastic weekend. Don't know what Aaron has in store, but you can bet it's going to be killer. So
yeah, 100%. Same time, same place next week. Join us. Join in the fun and the discussion. Make sure to have a great weekend with whatever you have planned. Hopefully making some time for some 3D modeling. Hey, who knows? There's always a chance.
Okay, better group these, and there was 5-minute handrails.
Beautiful. I love
made
it.
them too high. Let's just move these down a little bit.
Sneak underneath those. I will echo everyone in the chat saying nice work by you. And very cool model, especially in the time given. So nice work on that. While I have people still here, I want to, of course, mention 3D Basecamp, the SketchUp user conference that's happening in Vancouver this last week of September 26th to the 30th. Tickets on sale now. Oh boy, it's going to be, if you like this live modeling session, hot dog, we got a lot of great SketchUp and for you there, a lot of great sessions, and we'll both be there. A bunch of people from the SketchUp team will be there, and I'm sure a bunch of people from the chat will also be there. So, oh boy, it's going to be the time, the place for the SketchUp Summit. So don't miss that for sure.
It will be amazing. So let's get our final beauty shot here if we can. It's gonna be too dark.
Ooh, nice and moody.
Oh yeah. Ooh-wee.
It's spooky, especially with the skeletons.
But yeah, there we go. We did it. We got our handrails. I'm gonna walk up these stairs once more. Boom, 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 boom.
Look at that. It's like we're really there. That's beautiful.
Look back. Our handiwork. So, thanks everybody. Super thanks, Matt. Always fun to hang out. Always fun to what was the earlier reference? Matt's gone off the rails or something. Always fun.
Off my rocker.
Off your rocker.
We'll join you on and off the rocker.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's always a good time. So
go off the rocker with you. Yeah. A lot of fun. Thanks everybody again. Be safe. Join us next week. Check out Basecamp. I think that's it. We'll call it.
That's it, and that's all.
Thanks.